Hi everyone, welcome to the CodeQueryHub. In this video, we are going to learn some more topics in SQL. In the previous videos, we have learned about SQL DML commands and DDL commands. Now let's understand the constraints in SQL. So constraints are basically used to restrict our data, or we can say to maintain the data integrity. So like we are having the data validation in Excel, so it works in a similar manner. Let's understand this concept in Excel. Now, suppose we are doing a survey and we have information of users and users have entered this type of data in this column. So some of them have entered the male, female in small cases. Some have entered in the capital case. Some have entered only small m, capital M, or small f, capital F in this way. So what will be the impact of this? It will create different groups, which will make it harder to have insight. So first we have to do the cleaning. So to avoid this situation, we can use the data validation. Let's see how to do it. Suppose we want to enter the users to only select these before entering the data. Then we have data validation for it. How to do it? Let's see. Select some portion, click on data, and this is the data validation button. Click on it. Instead of any value, collect list and then click on source, these two values. Okay. Now you can see a drop down button. And if you click on it, you have only two values like male and female. So users can now enter only these values in this particular column. And if a user will now enter only M, what will happen? The system will not allow the user to enter any undefined value. So this is the use case or property of data validation. In the similar way, we have constraints in SQL. So let's see this. So these are the types of constraints. We are having not null, unique, default, primary key, foreign key, identity are check constraints. So not null will not allow the users to allow the null values, or unique will not allow the users to enter the duplicate values. Default, if no value is provided, then the default value is inserted in that particular column. And primary key is basically unique plus not null. We have already seen it in the previous video. And one important part here is it must not contain any sensitive information. For example, so email IDs are unique and phone numbers are also unique, but we cannot make it as a primary key because these are the sensitive informations. So, and foreign key is basically used to maintain the data integrity. So we will talk about it later. Identity is basically used to give a unique value to every record which is inserted by the system. And this will help us to auto increment the value. And check is basically used to check the condition before inserting the data. For example, if you have the voters data and you want to enter only those person who are greater than 18 years of age, then you can use the check constraint for it. Okay, so let's understand some more small but important topics like what are the comments in SQL. So comments are basically the part of the code which you don't want to get executed. For example, uh, these all are comments basically. Single line comments are to use the single line comments, we will use the double hyphen and we can write it anything like how SQL performs, something like that. So these are the comments, or we can say comment in SQL. So this is a single line comment. Every time we have to put double hyphen. Okay. So second comment, you can say. But in the next line, if we enter something, it will show different colors. like how the constraints works in SQL, like that. So, but to avoid this type of situation, how to do it? We have multi-line comments also. Suppose we are having like this. Let's copy this information. So these are colored. It means these are not comments. To make it comment, we have to use the forward slash and then star. So you can see now all of the data becomes the comment. And now star forward slash. Yes. So this is the way to create a multi-line comment. Now let's talk about the data types in SQL. So for text or character type values, we have these data types: char, varchar, nchar, varchar, and varchar text. And for numeric data types, we are having these data types: bit, tiny int, small int, big int, decimal, etc. Depending upon the type of data you want to enter. So for single line comments, we will use the double hyphen like this. And for multi-line comments, we have to start with the forward slash star and we have to end with star forward slash. Okay. In this way, we can use the multi-line comment. Now let's understand the constraints with the help of examples. Let's create a database first to understand it more. So we have already learned how to create a database. We have create database name. So let's take customer DB as a database and execute it. Commands completed successfully. How to check the database? Click on it, right click, refresh, and then we can see the customer database is created. Okay. We have learned how to create a table. So this is the syntax for it. Let's copy it. If you haven't seen the previous videos, please just watch them and come back to this video. It will be more helpful to you. So now let's create the constraints. Create table. Table name maybe uh, TBL customer and column name. Let's create customer ID of integer type and let's give this as identity constraint and start the value from 101 and 11 reference. Make it as a primary key, comma, column 2, maybe customer name of varchar, assign 40 characters to it and not null, age, maybe tiny int type. And you want to restrict the users for age greater than equal to 18. So how to do it? We can do it with the help of check constraints. We can say check age greater than equal to 18. So it will allow the users to enter only the values where the age is greater than equal to 18. If you enter the value for age equal to 7, it will not allow you to enter the value. So we will see it later on. And let's suppose we are entering the phone number. So phone number is of 10 digit. So let's assign 10 digit to it. And what is the condition we can give it? So we may restrict the users to enter 8 digits or 9 digits or maybe less than that or greater than that. So let's create a condition like check length of phone number equal to 10, equal to 10. And let's put the default value. If no phone number is provided, then default value is, let's give it as 10 zeros maybe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, comma. Let's take gender. varchar. Suppose only M or F we want to enter. Check gender equal to whether capital M or gender equal to single quotes. And then close it. We got it. Let's create this table. Yes. So we have created this table now with constraints. So we have used the name column as not null, means we cannot left this column as blank, and the user's age must be greater than equal to 18, and the phone number which is of exactly 10 digit will be entered into the system, or and otherwise it will not be allowed to enter, and the gender should be M or F, other values will not be allowed. Let's see. Click and refresh. Now, let's see the tables. Wait. First, make this database active. Customer database. And now let's create this table. Execute. Now you can see the table customer is created. And we have learned how to fetch the data. Fetch the data we are having. We select star from table, and table name is TVL customer. Let's select it and execute it. So yes, the table is created and we are having these columns. To see the design of it, yes. So these are the column names, data types, and yes. One more thing, like we have entered, like customer name must not be null. So now we can say allow nulls is not selected. So in this way, we can use the constraints while creating a table, and we have assigned the customer ID as primary key. So you can see a key button with it. Now let's see how the data validation works in SQL. Let's enter the data. Insert the data. So insert into table name is TBL customer. Now we are entering the values to it. So values are, see, we have put the identity constraint to the customer ID. So we don't need to enter the value for customer ID. We start entering the value from name itself. Okay. So let's give the value as Ram, comma, age maybe 32, comma, phone number. Let's give it anyone. 6, 7, 10, comma, some maybe semicolon, and let's execute this. One row affected, and to check the value, yes, this value has been entered into the table. Now let's enter the more records. We have already seen we can insert more values at a time. It's not necessary to enter only one record. And at max, we can enter 1,000 records at a time. We have seen this thing. Yeah, at a single point, we can only insert 1,000 rows in a table. If we want to insert 2,000 records or more, we can insert the command twice, thrice, etc. Okay, so let's insert more records. Let's execute this. 4 rows affected, and let's see the data. Yes. Now, these are the records in our system now. So in this way, we can use the constraints. Now, let's see how the constraint works. For example, if we try to enter the value, insert into TBL customer, and now we only give the value to the age or maybe gender column, values like 32, comma, and gender we have entered F, and don't have to comment it, and then execute it. Cannot insert the null value into the C name. See, we have entered, we have already said in the create table command, like we don't want the name column to be blank. So if we try to enter any record in which the name is null, or we don't enter any value into the name, it will not be inserted. So we have to keep in our mind like we have to take care of the constraints. Okay, so in this way it will work. Now let's see the case of default value. In case of default value, how it helps in case of default constraint. So we are having default constraint in the phone number. Now let's try to insert the name and let's only enter the name value to it. See what happens. Executed. One row affected, and let's see how the data looks like now. Executed. So you can see you have entered the name Sita. So you have not entered any age. So it will be null, and the gender is also null. And while defining the table, we have mentioned that if no value is provided, then the default values must be entered. So we can see in phone number column, we have our default value. In this way, we can use the default constraint. Okay.